shut it off and just speak it louder.
Yeah, we may just have to do that tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, folks, we'll try and yell at you.
So with that being said, let's keep the public comments amongst yourself down to a minimum. So last month, we heard from Steve Brock about a increase in the sewer rate that was deemed necessary since the mobile home community came to terms with the fact that they had a lot of lots that were being charged sewer rate with either no trailer or no occupancy in the trailer. So I think it was a 32.
32.
Yeah, 32 trailers, which would be like $170,000 or so revenue loss.
You can make a look it up.
Yeah, I couldn't find the paper. So, was
It's
that?
a 12.07% increase. That's high tax.
And it was
And it's gonna collect, yeah, you're absolutely correct, and then collecting about $173,000.
I mean, it was a flat rate for the non-metered people, like $162, I believe.
Yeah, depending on how much you use, just at 4,000 at 3,000 gallons, it's going from 88.87 to 99.60 at 3,000 gallons.
So I sat down last month and took my last month's bill and figured out the new rate. It'd be for like myself, an additional $20, which, you know, this time stuff with rates going up there and prices going up. Quite a bit of money, but without this, we wouldn't continue on with the funding for the project and also with the future improvements to the sewer. So we have to show we make money, pay our bills, plus put a little aside for future endeavors and all that. Has everybody had a chance to look at the increase?
Can I just say something? We still are not charging the trailer park for the office last week. They've had that free. And it's okay. Just want everybody to know.
Why aren't they being charged for that?
Well, we're charging like over trailer, and compensated. Now we pay for trailer, and I don't know, I've asked.
I mean, wouldn't it be like flat rate and metered flat rate? I would think for any additional hookups.
Yes.
In addition to that, the fire department's not being charged for water, so we need to try to make
That's
sure everybody.
kind of in the contract, though. We'd have to read the contract.
Oh, it is, because I was told in the past they always get charged for just a month or a yearly.
They should be charged for the fire department itself usage.
Oh, no, that's what I'm saying.
But like for water for fires.
No, that's in there. But they have a washing machine, a bathroom, and people are staying on there.
Do they not have a meter? Do we charge them? No. To use the bathroom or use the laundry? We need to change that, and we need to add office to the room.
Well, also you need to, they need to calculate how much they
Right.
fill their fire trucks up, not during a fire, but when they go out and do different things for training and stuff like that. They need, cause that's loss on the water department that we gotta calculate.
Well, we put a meter.
They need to be running it through a meter. We're
I thought we
gonna
did. No.
No, the other time that they were charged was whenever they went and filled up pools and they quit doing that.
Right.
So that's what the yearly would be, they keep track of how many, tanks are filled up for pool fills.
All right, so with that being said, we're gonna look into start charging the resident community for their office maintenance billing. Work on getting the fire department taken care of it. Is there any public comments on this proposed sewer rate 12 points?
I just wanted to ask, what was the comment, I didn't catch your comment about hookups. About what? Hookups?
At the trailer park or the town?
The trailer park. I thought you were talking about the community.
No,
Oh, okay, okay. I was, okay.
the office there itself.
Yeah, the office at the mobile home
Yeah.
community.
Okay, so that isn't in with our regular sewer bill for everything else?
No,
No.
that's going to be changed.
Oh, so there's a-
ordered the trailers, and I guess we're gonna have to go in and see which ones are really, being used and which ones not, because we had to pay somebody to do that before. So we went to a base rate. Well, now that it's higher, they don't want to do base rate, so they need to pay. for their option.
I understand that. There is no bathrooms or any drainage out of our maintenance office. The only sinks, bathrooms, or anything is in the main
In the main
office.
Correct.
Okay, so
They're
it's
kind of
two
combined
separate-
together, so
two
you
separate
can't really
buildings then?
separate it.
It's basically two separate buildings combined by like a walkthrough,
Okay.
so.
So it'd just be one addition.
Yes.
All right, are there any public comments on the proposed sewer rate?
Yeah, I got a couple questions. Would any of you pay for something that, wasn't hooked up in your place? I mean, it's an honest question. Would anybody in this room pay for something that you didn't intend on using?
If it's hooked to our sewer line,
Yeah,
you have to, if it's capped off, then no.
Okay. 32 of those homes in that place are capped off,
That's what we.
That's why we're
That's what we're talking about.
all right? And you're proposing that as a loss of $174,000 roughly?
Roughly.
And that's gonna cause an increase of $20 a month, or
Well,
Everybody's is
160.
different, yours is a flat rate, so I
Sure.
don't know what yours is. Yours is a flat rate, because it's an
So my question is, you're gonna raise the rates based on not getting any additional revenue from those 32 places.
We have
Would
to,
anybody in this building right now pay for something that they do not have?
But they wouldn't pay for it if they didn't have
Right.
it.
I'm sorry?
if
They
they're
wouldn't
hooked
pay
up,
for it if they didn't have it. So as a town, the town's hooked up to our sewer, so everybody in the town has to take that.
We have to absorb
and we need to prove that them trailers are not hooked up.
If they're vacant lots, they're done, there's your
We're
answer.
not counting any vacant lots.
What's that?
We don't count any vacant lots,
So you don't count any vacant lots?
not that on our,
It is, it's the vacant lots aren't on it, and then if there's,
I know.
yeah, that's a vacant. So they're not charged. Yeah, vacant lots are not charged.
So you're looking to the town people to generate this revenue that you're supposedly losing on people not living in a certain area.
Well, they're also getting an increase at the mobile home community, so.
Oh, I'm well aware,
Yeah.
I'm well aware. I'm well aware.
Steve,
So-
could you explain that a little better to me about how we charge and how we have to increase everybody's, if we could just increase the trailer parks. That would be
You know,
good,
that
but
would still increase some of the members of the community, if anybody's on a flat rate, it's all cost of living.
So you're just pinpointing the community up there and nobody else is what I just heard.
No,
No, if we could pinpoint that community to pay the rate that they need to pay, we would, but we can't. They have to pay the same rate as the town, which is what everyone is paying.
When I meant community, I was meaning the whole entire town of Brooklyn, that mobile home park is a part of Brooklyn, that's what I meant, community, everybody. The
Okay.
whole entire town, so.
All right. That'd be
Okay.
helpful. Again, you're charging us for the community having vacant homes. How many homes in the town of Brooklyn itself, within town limits, are vacant?
we just said we wasn't charging vacant.
I'm asking a question. How many vacant homes are in the town of Brooklyn that are not being used right now? That money is gonna be put on that next home buyer or renter. Is that fair to them?
Yeah, it's not. put
See, that's the
on
thing,
the
everybody's
next-
like, oh, it's just how it is. No.
Listen, it's not fair that you had to do it, because the main reason was because of the
Except
trailer
three,
park.
and then, but it was.
And everybody's having to use it.
Okay.
If they didn't do that, you would have to pay a hookup fee every time. Like if you didn't pay on, if you didn't have to, if you were unhooked from the system, you would have to pay what? How much is it to hook up, a new hookup?
Well, if that's, it's just uncap and a re-hook up, it's $750 for a tap-on fee.
Yeah,
That's a tap-on fee. That's tapping into a line that doesn't exist and laying a new
No,
one.
it's not.
but if they
But
have
if
to,
it's capped off,
if you're capped off, that's what you'd have to pay.
Okay,
then you have to reattach.
if I'm building a new home, I totally agree with that, but I'm not building a new home. I'm not gonna pay the $750. I will pay the $750 because it's part of the new home build. I'm talking about a house that's already built, that's been here for who knows how long, it's been empty. Say, this gentleman here,
It still
buys that
accrues-
home.
It still accrues sewer costs. We've had people in town live in a house without water, without anything. They still had a sewer bill.
Right.
The man was bringing water in and dumping stuff down his toilet and stuff. If it's not capped off, if you're not gonna have to pay a hookup fee, we can't tell whether somebody's using it or not.
So this is all based off an assumption then that it's being used even though it's in a home that's nobody's.
Well, no, it's based on what the town attorney told, the park attorney told us, correct, Lee? This is what we're based on, that is what we talked with the town attorney about,
Park attorney.
or the park attorney about
The-
how
the-
the rates.
What we charge them?
Yes.
Yeah, it's based on a settlement agreement that was entered into about 12 years ago.
Okay,
So the rate for the home park was a negotiated rate that was set at that time under an agreement that settled some litigation. And then from that point forward, their rate is increased by the same percentage that everyone else's rate is increased each time there is an increase.
okay.
So that's how the base started out being an agreed upon rate, not one that was calculated by our rate consultant. Although I would like to think that there was a rate consultant involved that had some input on what that rate was, but that was before any of us were sitting here.
Actually, I think it was Steve.
I don't know.
I was working for the town on the water side, not on the wastewater side back when that rate was done. I gave the town attorneys some advice back at that point.
There was a rate consultant.
There was a rate.
Yeah.
Well, I would have thought there had been, but I don't have any, I didn't have any involvement into that.
And we also had another attorney. too.
Yeah, in Bethany Park, there's only 3 houses that are not on sewer because that's county up there. It stops right at my house. And the ones up the road are not on it because that is not Brooklyn, that is county. But all of Brooklyn, all of Bethany Park pays a sewer bill. From
Correct.
67 all the way through
So
Bethany
they're
Park.
hooked up to a different line, they don't run to our sewer?
No, I'm not, I'm just saying, how many is in there?
Yeah, it goes to our sewer.
So if it goes to our sewer, they get billed, I don't
Yeah.
know where they would.
The few people she's talking about would probably just be on.
Cause it stops at my house.
Right.
The other stuff.
All right, so-
about, but,
So if there's no other concerns or comments, let me finish, Dave. If there's no other concerns or comments about the proposed rate increase, we don't need to discuss things that happened in the past and all that. We're talking about a 12.07% rate increase that needs to be done in order to continue on with the project that's in progress and such on.
And that's not to say that the things you're interested in or wanting to talk about can't be discussed
There's
later.
other comments.
But statutorily, we're required to hold a public hearing to give the customers, the interested parties an opportunity to talk about the proposed rate increase. And that's what this part of the meeting is that public hearing. So let's stay on that course. And then the other stuff you want to talk about, well, we can do that at another time. It's just kind of outside the boundaries of what this is for.
Dave?
Well, you're talking about these rate increases. Are they equal to each person, each trailer, each home?
Yes.
Is it equal to each of them? And how did they arrive at the amount of money per unit? Did they divide 1,200 homes and the trailer park as one entity? Or is there 1,200 homes and 400 trailers, cause you keep saying you have an agreement from something that happened 20 years ago, but the problem is, once IBM come in and said, you got a problem, you gotta fix it, that agreement is gone. And I don't understand why that keeps
That
being
has nothing
said.
to do with this whatsoever, nothing.
I
And
mean,
it wasn't 20 years ago.
equal is supposed to be equal, and I don't feel we're being
Well, let's-
charged
Let
equally.
Steve answer that question.
Each trailer is charged
Thank you. I'm Steve Brock from Brock Associates. I did the rate study that, did the previous increases and did the rate study on this one. The reason we're having this rate increase is because we lost the billing for 32 trailers and we need to make up that revenue. The way you calculate a rate increase in Indiana is you, determine what your expenses are, your spending plan, and you look at the revenues that your current rates have collected, and then you see what the shortfall is, and then that shortfall has to be made up by the increase in rates. And what this is, it's an across-the-board rate increase, which means everybody gets the same percentage increase on their previous rates and charges. So all the rates are going up by 12.07%. So if you use the same, you know, you look at your bill last year or last month, and you could figure on getting 12.07% increase. A mobile home park's getting a 12.07% increase, the people in town are getting a 12.07% increase. Everybody's getting the same percentage increase.
Can I
Steve,
ask
I
a
think
question
his,
about
I
that?
think his question is that rate increase based off the mobile home community being one bill or,
392.
right?
Can I ask a question?
Let him finish.
Pipes that-
Let me let him finish, please.
So the mobile home park gets one bill, as I understand it, and Lori can correct me if I'm wrong, because she knows this much better than I do. And that bill is calculated on a rate, per mobile home. And I think it is
Yes.
392, 392, so 392 times that rate, and that rate is going up 12.07%. So the entire, every mobile home in that mobile home park is gonna get a 12.07% increase.
But it still originally goes back to years ago when it was first brought up. And they kept the two trailer parks, and I think that apartment complex was each as one. And I was told in a meeting like this, they said, that's just the way it is. The trailer park is one entity, and when you figure the percentage rate for everybody, they divided it by 1,270 instead of 1,600 or 1,700. And that means that me as a homeowner here, I'm paying more than that trailer park is, because you are not taking into account the entire 400 car homes. And then on top of that, you have all of these lots over there with capped off pipes. And if they're not truly capped off, they should be disconnected, and you don't charge them, I agree. But every time a trailer comes in, it should be a $700 hookup fee. Now, how many empty pipes is sticking out of the ground over there? I've had to cap 4 homes myself, and that's what I'm saying. It's not fair that because nobody's using that lot, I had 2 empty lots over here, you still sent us a bill every month. So if you're doing all of this fair, it should be fair, the same for everybody. That trailer park is no more special than John Q. Public or any of you people.
It is billed on a single bill, but that amount is the sum of 392 separate
I
charges.
understand that, but what I'm saying is when he's talking X amount of dollars is what it costs to run your sewer system. It takes $1 million to run the sewer system, and the way he figures it up, you're short 50,000 or whatever it is. But when I'm saying, when you divide it up, per unit, if there's 1,800 units, you divide that up, it's one rate. If you divide up 1,250 units, it's a different rate. And if you do it that way, us, the people, are getting
But
screwed.
that's not how it's done.
I beg to differ, that's not what I've been told.
Okay, well, I'm telling you, that's not how it's done. Steve can corroborate that. But that's just wrong.
My understanding is that the mobile home park per trailer pays more than the average residential user on a monthly basis.
Per each connection.
For each connection. So the mobile home park actually pays more than a residential home would pay.
All right, we're gonna take one more comment, and then we're gonna start wrapping
Well,
up.
I'm Phil Seaver, I'm the attorney for Mooresville Acres, so I don't have any residents, I don't want to speak in front of any residents. But I'm here to talk about the sewer rate increases on behalf of Park and I think on behalf of the residents. I do want to address this gentleman's question real quick. So as of last summer, Mooresville Acres was being charged for 500 total connections, even though 500 connections didn't exist. It's only recently that we were able to get with the town council and reduce the amount of connections to the actual amount of users, which is about 393. So that is what's being charged in Mooresville Acres right now. I'll also say, I can't speak to specifics, I'm just the attorney, so don't kill a messenger. But all of the rate increases have not been passed through yet to residents. Mooresville Acres and its parent company have been, to a large degree, subsidizing some of these cost increases. And I wanted to talk about that a little bit because, to me, this additional increase in charges, it all stems back to money. The town needs money to fix its sewer system. It delayed maintenance on for 30 plus years. And so the question to me is that how do we solve the funding gap? Because rates, according to my research, rates have gone from $42 a resident all the way up to $143 a resident. And they're potentially going to $161 a resident. And this would compromise almost 19% of their rent. Most of the residents, and I'll tell this to the town council, most of these residents are living on fixed income and don't have this money.
To our people in the town.
Well, and in the town too. But here's the problem. Mooresville Acres, the actual entity itself, comprises almost a third of your sewer revenues. Maybe even a fourth of your sewer revenues. At some point, Mooresville Acres will not be able to exist under these rate increases. And at that point, then the town will be bankrupt and be unable to support their sewer project. So what I propose is that we table the ordinance increase at this point, and then we explore options. I don't know to what extent the town has conducted research into doing some type of, I believe the term is DAC, Disadvantaged Community Study, looking at just the Mooresville Acres, looking at them as a disadvantaged community and making application for grants and for other things through the various millions of dollars that are available through federal funding. I think that and I understand it's just the town council, right? Like the resources to do this sort of intensive grant research maybe don't exist in terms of bandwidth and time and money. But there are also other governmental organizations that will help put these grant proposals together. And maybe I see, ma'am, you have got a look at your face that you're gonna tell me this has all been done. And I don't know if it has been done or not, right? All I can go off is what people have told me. But I think that it is worth another look before we put all of these folks into a situation where they can't pay their rent and where Mooresville Acres can't exist, and then you do not have a sewer project. And for those reasons, I'm asking you to table this ordinance. My clients, my principal, so understand, this is a subsidiary of a much larger corporation. But this much larger corporation cares about its residents. They are willing and have worked with other towns and other communities in the past to come up with funding solutions for just this same type of problem. I ask and beg and plead that you take a moment, take a pause, communicate with my principals, and see if there's any opportunities to fill this funding gap without going back to the folks in this room again and the folks in your community and putting them in an even more disastrous condition. This is what I'm asking. If the town continues to push forward, my clients have instructed me to object and file a petition with the court and take these issues before the court. So this is my part today. You're going to tell me, I assume, how wrong I am on everything. But I'm telling you, my clients have solved this exact same type of issue with other small municipalities, taking advantage of grants and loans and working together with towns.
You say
Well,
we
please
didn't
go
do
ahead.
nothing with our lines. We spent $1 million in that trailer park. We didn't raise your rates, we didn't do nothing. But nobody cares about that, right? You
Well,
always say we haven't
I'm not
done
here
it.
for that. I'm here for the sewer increase today. Yeah.
It's all to do with the sewer lines.
Yeah.
That's all we have there.
So, I mean, so the, I guess your response to my request that we look at other potential funding sources to fill this gap, as opposed to going back to your residents, is, well, we've done other things in the past, so we can't do anything going forward?
I'm
I don't
not
think that's
saying
acceptable.
that. What I'm saying is, we have to focus to get the project done, but we can still look at other revenues and go back and change it. That's never a problem. If we can find a solution, that's never a problem. Do you understand what I'm saying?
This project's been going on for at least 8 years since I've been on board, and you're coming at bottom ninth or whatever inning proposing this. It's the project's already, I don't know, Keegan, 80-70%.
Division A is probably about 80%, Division B is 50 or 60%.
And I apologize, we're late to the game. We only bought the property 2 years ago. We weren't around 8 years ago, or 30 years ago.
Even 2 years ago, it'd
Yeah.
been better than, you know.
Phil, I'll invite Steve to join in on this. I'm confident saying there wasn't any opportunity for any kind of a grant or, forgivable loan, or
You
other.
go into county and try to get out.
Or other type of assistance that the town didn't pursue and exhaust as a way of trying to reduce the cost of the project and have really favorable financing. But, I don't think there was anything out there that wasn't pursued.
So my question then, in response to that, is when was the last time that was looked at?
At the point that we secured financing to do the project.
Yeah, so how long
Division
was
A,
that?
which
You
would,
can't-
when we closed on Division A, Keegan.
Right.
Would have been,
Within late 2024.
late 2024, so we broke this into two parts, Division A, Division B. Division A was funded by rural development, 40-year subsidized interest rate loan program that has grant money that we asked for. We're funding the second part through the Indiana State Revolving Loan Fund, another subsidized interest rate governmental program that has grant money that they did not give any to us. We applied to Oprah, we talked to the county, we've gone through all the sources that are used for sewer and water projects in Indiana, and this is where we end up. And we have 40-year and 35-year financing. We have until June to close the loan with the Indiana State Revolving Loan Fund, or they told us they will not fund it anymore. They are a subsidized interest rate loan program. If we don't close before June, the rates will have to go higher again because our financing is not gonna be as favorable.
All I can say is, we still object to the rate increase. At the end of the day, I think there should be a continuous look in for grant and for money to help this project at the end of the day.
But, and the other thing, Phil, you understand, the project is underway.
I fully understand.
And that we have incurred bond anticipation notes to fund it, and that's like the temporary financing, and this is the permanent financing that has already been set up and committed to, and this is the last step in the process. The only reason we're doing this rate increase is because it had to be bumped again because of the loss of revenue with the trailer park.
I hear you, but like 100 residents leave, you're back here again with these folks.
I know, but if we can't provide sewer service, people can't live here.
What do you think's gonna happen if we start jacking it up
If
even
there
higher?
is no sewer service, there is no community.
So,
I mean, this is,
Thank you, I've said my piece, I'll let the
this
residents.
is all issues that have been wrestled with and
Can I say one thing?
All right, last
Or
comment.
ask a question. So you said this started back in 2024, correct?
probably before that.
Okay, so I've been the community manager over there since we bought the property. Well, actually before, because I've been there for almost 5 years now. Whenever we brought brand new homes into that community, 25 to be exact, back in 2022, 2023, I paid every tap-on fee of $750 per your guys' stuff. Not a problem, because we wanted those new homes in our community. My question is why were we not informed? You had the meetings to inform the residents.
You are
but
the
nothing. But
residents.
honey, nobody ever explained to us as many times as I spoke to anybody in that office getting the tap-on fees paid or anything of that nature. No one ever said a word to me, any of my corporate division, that anything was gonna be increasing, and last year, just all of a sudden, poof, increase, poof, increase, poof, increase.
It's been talked
And
about for
nothing-
years. You
But
guys should have a
yet
meeting.
nobody thought to contact one of us to say, hey,
They
do
didn't
you know
contact
about
every
this?
resident.
They
Well,
put
but-
notes in
but
our
no.
bills.
But up until
We don't get
just,
sewer bills.
but up
The
until,
trailer, the owners do.
but up until just this past fall, I knew nothing about these meetings, neither did our corporate. We knew nothing about any of this. I had to
You're
call
never
the
gonna
Brooklyn Utilities office just to get a copy of a newsletter or what have you, to find out that there was meetings. Our corporate heads, none of us even knew about this.
You're a part
Public
of town
meetings are
Brooklyn.
advertised. I mean, it's
Where
your
though?
response in newspapers.
You get
Didn't
it?
know
It's-
there was a hearing tonight.
It was
I
discussed
did-
last meeting.
I just get here and find out there's a hearing.
But that's,
We were at the last meeting when
but we,
they
you
said.
know, my thing is you guys hit us with all these sewer increases, which,
We hit
like the
everybody.
attorney stated, we are not giving that to the full amount to our residents yet, trying to ease this blow, and now you guys are raising it again. And I have and I understand, the entire town has fixed income people. But this is getting to a point that we need to figure out something, because even regular families that are not on fixed incomes are having a hard time with this.
Well, up until recently, with all the broken sewer lines and stuff that occurred, you guys weren't paying that, the town was paying for it. And then we had litigation where the Bowbone community is paying for any damages to the laterals and stuff.
And I have pictures of it anyway.
And, you know, I've
That is
been
going
out
straight
the
to our
same,
sewer system from the ground.
same addresses where, you know, they clog up the sewer line with diapers, which diapers don't do.
And I understand that being put back to
And
us.
that costs us
I
money every
completely
time,
understand
so you guys didn't need that up until recently. We had some litigation where you guys were paying like $70,000 or so, I believe it was.
I don't know.
I forgot how much, but, you know, this, it's been in the works, for the last, like I said, 8 years. I've been on the council.
More than that.
Well, since I've been on the council, I've been on about 8 years.
We need to have that.
Well,
All right.
Like I
So-
said, if you guys can come up with a solution, we can go back and change things. That is always an option. But for now, we got till June to get this signed and done, and we have to do it. There's just no other choice.
Hey
I wish
Kevin,
there
I do
was.
have a quick question.
All right, one last comment, and then we're gonna close the public comment.
So this increase is because the numbers were off. The trailers
Yeah.
weren't counted, new numbers were discovered. What happens if 10 trailers get moved out?
yep.
Are we back again for another rate increase? Like, when does this end? Like, and why is nobody keeping a regular count?
Do you guys keep a
Steve,
regular
what
count
kind
if
of-
somebody moves out of town?
What kind of,
We used to count trailers
I
every
mean,
month.
5 trailers, 10 trailers, I mean, this is 30.
We can absorb 5, probably 10, you know, but obviously if there are more trailers that move out, we have to reevaluate again. The loan programs are borrowing the money from, we're borrowing $14 million to do this, require us to meet a debt service coverage ratio, which means we have to pay all our annual expense of operation, maintenance, repair, and replacement, plus come up with 1.25 times the annual debt service. So we have to have a cushion there, and we have to maintain that cushion throughout the life of the loan.
All right, that said, I'm gonna close the public hearing for the sewer rate increase.
We have to close.
Right, close, but we still have.
Do we just close the hearing right now?
Right.
Now we open it to town council.
I have a closure, have a second on it.
No, we just.
Listen, can you have your
All right, we're gonna get into the, regular scheduled meeting, we have some, so I'm gonna like to call the order of the meeting, April 14th, 6 o'clock.
We can hear you guys back there talking, but you please stop.
Let's do it. Let's do the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call. Mark, a little more. We,
I'll make it fine. No, I'm fine.
if you guys want to have a conversation, go ahead and step outside. Continue on the meeting, please.
Wow. They should give them all them damn pipes that they don't have back and get a discount. Watch out. They all made a mistake anyway.
Mitch Moore. Here. Marty Smith. Here. Chrissy Dunnigan.
Not here.
All right, has everybody had a chance to look at the minutes from March 10th, 2026?
Yes, I make a motion that we accept the minutes for March 10th, 2026.
I have a motion, I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Carried by all. All right, council reports. Start with, Marty Smith.
Okay, as far as those, vehicles that we have that are not in use, I've been talking with Mike, we've got a favorable situation on how we're gonna take care of all of that. But as of right now, with everything that's going on with the sewer project, and they're so busy taking care of everything, we're gonna hold off on that until it's.
I'm sorry, what'd you say? We're holding off on the, working on the trailer park more?
No. The vehicles we have over there, the maintenance
The
building.
maintenance.
Yeah, and, I've been keeping in contact with him, and we've seen some other stuff too that we're going to be.
We're not paying insurance on the vehicles.
No. Right, well, wait a minute, Laurie?
I need to know what list you have that are,
I'll get with you on that.
Yeah.
That way we make sure we're not paying insurance on them.
Yeah.
And then,
We could get a
and
copy
the
of
reason
that.
I wanna
I
hold
got a
off
copy
on
of
this,
everything.
because the amount of equipment that we have
Yes.
there right now that's in the way, and then the amount of people that are in doing the project are in the way as well.
Right.
So, once it's done, it'll be easier to get that out.
So it will be taken care of. And so, that's about it.
Barbara Lorne,
I don't have anything at this time.
did you get a chance to, follow up from last meeting?
No, I was hoping the guy would be here, so I could get them addresses, cause I did not find none of my.
Okay. I know,
I'm the one that brought it up.
Missy.
I thought there was a guy with her that was talking about it too. Some
I can show
houses.
you, I can show you two of them right there on that church, east. Pretty much close to the church and the east side, the other two were, but
Yeah, one's next to, the property Charlie and Tom C.
Right.
Actually, no.
across from the.
At the end of Church Street, right across from the banks.
I'll get with y'all, I'll line and get those addresses.
Okay, the one where the, oh.
It's all lined up around it.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
got,
okay.
yeah.
And I guess Charlie and Tom's house isn't there anymore, I didn't
No, it's
realize
gone.
that. And then there's one at the corner of East Street and Church.
Correct.
And then Debbie Vice's
She gets
house.
this last.
You're talking about the, White House there, okay, yes. Okay, them were the three that we were talking about. Okay. That's good.
All right, anything else, Barbara? All right. Mitch Moore?
I'll cover mine in old business.
Okay. bids, Marshall Shaw.
I have nothing for you.
But you did some computers or something.
That's my
Okay.
That's the word.
Maintenance, Mike.
So we had 42 work orders last month, 52 locates. Of course, we had that water main break there on Knox Court. That started on the 8th. I got in here around 11 o'clock, found the shut off, finally got it shut off, and then first thing, the next day on the 9th, we got that fixed. What it was a PVC, and they used a slip joint, and they didn't back it with anything, or they didn't secure the line. So what happened was eventually it just blew out. So now it's got a ductile 90 with mega lugs on it, and it's been backed, so it won't happen. Got the potholes filled there on Knox and throughout the town. Then,
You use hot mix now, or?
no, it's a cold mix, we don't have a box to put hot mix in.
I thought I guess you run down to the paint, with it.
You know, it's, by the time we get back, it'd be hard, you wouldn't be able to use it.
I
Without a hot
thought they'd done it before it passed.
You gotta use it so quick, or else it sets up on you. But, I had IBM come in on the water department. It was a site inspection. The guy, his name is Ed Malone. He is supposed to do a report. One of the things was our chlorine system, that there was a few things that we had to get done, and we already got those fixed.
The one back here.
Yes. So I had Living Water come in, service all that, and they're gonna be on a yearly service. So they come out and check it and make sure everything's good. Our fluoride, something I wanna talk about on that. I'd like to eliminate it from the system. I've talked to IBM, they said that it's a town board decision. It's, to me, there's enough fluoride in toothpaste, mouthwash and other things that the amount that we put in is minuscule.
Yeah.
And then you say that ours is broken.
There's a malfunction with it right now, so we've got it shut off.
I also spoke with Steve, our water,
Operator.
certified water operator.
Correct.
And he said that it's been an issue with,
Multiple things.
yeah, they've had a lot of issues getting the level consistently correct.
Yeah.
It's never been, too high, but it's pretty consistently off.
Let's just get some wine out of it.
So, he didn't feel like it would be an issue to.
Right,
to get it out of the system.
and talking with IBM, like I said, it's up to the board to decide that whether they wanna keep it in there or not. The annual cost per year is a little over $5,000 per year. So, it's my take on it. I'd like to see if you guys would wanna do away with it.
I would, I would be willing to,
Yeah, I'll make a motion to get rid of it.
and I'll second
Got a motion and a second, all in favor?
Okay, but
Thank you.
I'll get with IBM and make sure we get all the proper paperwork done.
Is there a bunch of fluoride on site?
There is some, and, when Morgan County has their tox away, I think it's September the 8th, I believe, something like that. We can get rid of a lot of that there, so.
Or of any communities in the area?
Well, and one of the stipulations was that we have to take everything out of there doing with the fluoride. So the tank, any of the chemical, any of that, so,
we have to pay somebody to do all that.
I should be able to
$3,000
read out.
plumbing.
Me and the guys, yeah, cap some stuff off, so. And then, the trailer park. So I got with, Corson, which we used to be English Excavating. He's got a list that he has already done. He's supposed to email it to me here soon. That way we can get through and get some billing done to the trailer park. to pay for the repairs.
Because I wondered if there wasn't some done, I seen a lot on our bills, a lot of work done
Yeah,
there, and one of them was the same trailer twice.
right. But he's got a list and he's got pictures, he's got detailed, information on it.
As long as he keeps what he does for the town separate from what he does for the. you know.
Correct. That, yeah, cause they do a lot of work up there other
I
than
know, I
just for
kinda,
us.
I
And
don't
then,
think that.
also, I am gonna have him come in and there's the storm sewer that goes underneath Indiana, right at church, or, yeah. He's gonna jet that out so it flows better, and then the one at, the end of Braun Road, he's gonna do that as well.
The storm drain
Right.
goes.
Yeah.
What about the one over there across the street from me? It's half full. Goes under the railroad track.
That is up to the railroad.
Oh, it is up?
Cause that's their property. Yeah, we don't touch that. We don't want the fine.
But somebody needs to contact
Yeah,
them
just
and
if
let
we
them know.
might see if we can get a
Okay.
contact for them.
Sure.
I've got the number and the name and that's all you need.
Sounds good. That's it for me.
Mike, how's your new guy doing?
Doing good.
Good.
He's been working with Eli every morning and then, heading up with Troy and then just going at it.
Okay,
No, he's, couldn't ask for a better guy, really.
good.
And Eli can attest for that.
Give you a little bit of relief down there.
Yeah, it's made it a lot easier with everything going on, that having someone that when something does go wrong, that you can, hey, we'll knock this out half the time what it was. And it's going good.
Yeah.
That will do right on the budget, with the sewer.
At the moment, everything's going good, all the project and everything is coming along real nice as planned. We did have a blower that seized up this month, there's a larger blower. Went ahead and swapped that over to the other one, got all the parts switched over and it's been working well. As far as the computer and the control panel, I have been keeping an eye on the flows, those have been good, and, it reset itself and it's back in time and everything now working right, so good work on it, keeps working until it's replaced.
I know
We
you
have
guys-
a new panel there, and it's just, they're working on running the conduit and the wires and everything. We did have the sludge pump, it caught, somehow the chain got some slack in it, and sucked up a link to that, didn't damage the pump. The pump's fine, we don't have to buy a new one of those, it was made and tested, runs good. I sent it off today with American Pump, and they're putting a pedestal on the bottom and a cam lock fitting for the output, that way. Because when it sucked up that chain, flipped it 180 degrees inside of the rail, it wrapped the chain and the power cord around that rail. We had to remove the rail to get it out. In order to put the rail and the pump back in, that digester is gonna be completely cranked out, it'll be about $80,000. And that's something that will be done with the project. So we're gonna, in that meantime, we'll run with this set of adapters that's getting made. Then we can keep wasting out of the digester, keep that level low to the bags, and it'll be business as usual instead of calling Merrill Brothers to take care of it, so.
Somebody earlier this week is about $600 for, $400 to $600 per bag versus $2,400 per.
Yeah, for 6,000 gallons. it's
Was that
24.
because it was dry? Cause you said something about dry.
No, when the sludge is pumped out regularly, we mix it with collar, it makes it almost like a Play-Doh type consistency. And that's what we put to the bags, and it swells up, all the water leaks off of it, and then you're just left with the sludge in the bag. At the moment with Merrill Brothers, it's something where we turn the air off, sink that hose way down deep in that sludge, and $2,400 only does about 6 inches. But it wasn't until recently I found out that they made those adapters, otherwise I would have done it sooner. But, I mean, 6 inches, those pumps, they run for, about 30, 40 minutes a day wasting, which right now, thankfully, both sludge levels and both tanks are shut off. Or the wasting is shut off on both tanks, the sludge levels are real far down, 40 in SPR 1, 30 in SPR 2. So we're well below any danger point. But, I mean, everything's working good and going along nice.
How would do the one with the barn for the dumpsters?
That's something something that those contractors were filling and packing where there's a large pit where they had a bunch of conduit ran. Once that is filled and packed, I did call them earlier today, and I let them know, hey, we're obviously still needing it and everything, we're just waiting on the contractors to completely get out of the way, that way it's not two sets of contractors. I told them it'll probably be an additional, once the contractors leave, 2 to 3 weeks, just that way I can waste a lot to those bags, get that out. Then once that's to a low level, it said it'd take them, I believe they said right about a week to put that barn up. At that time, I can waste 6 to 8 feet out of it from wasting on and we'll be fine.
So when that's up and running, we should be able to use those bags year round.
Yeah, instead of freezing in winter like it did.
And with the, drying bits getting fixed later on this summer, should pretty much eliminate Merrill Brothers, once emergency.
Right, then we'll have redundancies where if it is that cold, we can just pump sludge out to the drying bed, it'll take a little bit longer to dry, but then that way it's.
Still cheaper than $2,100 a load.
Right.
Alright,
Eli, thank
Keep
you
up.
in the box.
keep up the good work, thank you. Both y'all.
That is, and something else on, as far as the wastewater side goes. The lift stations, so main lift station, it's getting ready to go online probably in another, week or two. And then school will be coming up, probably, they're gonna test it the end of this week, hopefully. And then they've already started on Mill Street, they've stripped everything out. They've already started setting the new, wet well and all that. Then once they get that done, then they'll move to, Church Street. And then where are we at on, 067?
You're out the corner, probably.
Well,
So, yeah, we were coordinating with REMC to shift the building and the generator a bit to make sure we're adequately away from their overhead lines, and they supposedly got an easement there, so we shifted it a little bit, we think we've got something workable. And so, yeah, we're just working out the details with them at this point.
that's it.
Lori Van Driver, clerk, treasurer.
Okay, we're getting the new software installed this week. That'll be starting Wednesday afternoon, Thursday and Friday. Then, 3 or 4 reps from BSNA will be in the office Monday through Thursday, next week for 2 weeks for, training. And May bills that are coming out are going to look different. The one, they're gonna be in color. 2, you're gonna have a QR code that you can scan with your phone to pay. So we'll have online billing, and we're also gonna be doing invoice billing for those who choose not to receive a hard bill. Whenever you do go online, you will be able to look at your account. You'll be able to see what your current charges were, what your past charges were. We also have a graph now on your bill, which I believe you'll be able to look at that also, whenever you log on. We're gonna have, when you come in, if you do choose to come into the office to pay, we can scan it and it'll automatically pop up on our screen, and everything is live. And then we don't have to write out receipts anymore, we're gonna have an actual printer that will do the receipts, so I'm really excited about that. We are also pulling all of the accounts, we have 12 accounts at Citizens Bank, and with this new software, they requested that we merge it all into one, so we'll only have one bank account. But with our software, it will still be divided up between the funds, so it's still gonna be entered in the same way it is now, but we're only gonna have one bank account, which that SBOA, we only looked at it as a whole anyway. So, that's gonna be, a lot of it's gonna be different. I still will leave out the New York Bank of Mellon, because that is, I have different bank reconciliations for that. And of course, RD and, Huntington ICS, those I have to leave separate. So, we will still have 4 accounts, but as soon as 2 of them drop off, I will only have 2 remaining. And that's it.
You told them on the new building, people will be able to look at their usage times the kilowatt rate per hour, and figure out their bill if they.
I don't 100% remember. I've looked at it 5,000 times and I don't have it committed to memory, and I did not bring it with me. It is broken down a little bit more. You will see on there, it'll say, electric, fuel adjustment, it'll have parentheses, that's where it will show you that you're getting that credit that we've talked about. So you will be able to see that.
How far back? You said you can look at previous.
I don't know, we've been able to go on and do training, but I don't know what it looks like to, I tried to, with my phone to scan my bill, and it's not active, we're not active, we're not live. So I won't know anything until Monday, what it really looks like.
I was just curious.
Yeah,
It might
I am
just
too.
start, since it's a new software, it might just now start.
Yeah, but all we've been able to do is just go on training mode, and we tried doing some practicing with payroll and utility and everything, but I won't really 100% know until Monday.
So the office will be closed, am I correct?
Yes, not next week.
Not next
No, this Thursday and Friday.
When are bills due? They're gonna be closed during?
Yeah, the bills are due, tomorrow, which we will be there till noon. They're gonna pull the final extraction at 10:30. We cannot be on any computers at all. So if anybody calls or comes in and wants to pay, I have to tell them, sorry, you need to leave and come back Monday. So I didn't know which way, either we stay there and shoo you away and then you're mad at me, or we're closed and you're mad at me. So I didn't know which way to go. So we just decided, they said it'd be better if we were not on them at all, and we could close to do that, and that's what I chose to go ahead and do. But then Monday morning, we're open at 8, and we'll have people with us to help us, whoever comes in to pay their bill on how to do it, because I don't know how.
So be there before 10:30.
Tomorrow. Yeah, oh, and then penalties, we can't do penalties on the 16th, so it will be moved to the 20th.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not backdating, because that's not fair, none of that's
Right.
fair, so
Right.
it will be the 20th. So this May, the end of April, May is gonna be wonky, please bear with me, and staff, we also, we got new staff coming in. I've had one of them, move on to other things, and I have a new lady starting on the 27th. So everything is gonna be a little hectic for a little while, but bear with me.
I noticed that short notice, but can you broadcast that on social media about?
No, Chris, you have to, or either one of you can.
I didn't.
I'm gonna go knock the doors.
But I'm really excited, I'm super excited about this. I'm scared to death, but I'm super excited.
Yeah, I
We'll
will
close
say,
it up window.
I walked into the office one day last week and got berated about all this stuff. She just
I
had
was
to
so
tell-
excited.
She had to tell me everything about it. I'm like, can I get a word in on what I need?
No.
All right,
Thank you.
moving on, Park Board, do we have any representatives of Park Board?
No.
No, they had their, Easter egg hunt this past weekend, delayed a week because of the weather.
I know, I've seen where like Mooresville and different towns, they just had a drive-through.
Yeah, that's up to them. Everyone, ran it a little differently than has been.
Definitely.
It works for them.
When are the park board meetings? Just out of
Which they either
curiosity.
have them on the phone,
Well,
I have it all posted, it's the first Tuesday of every
but
week.
they don't have them here, cause then they have to video them.
My Sunday over here, I had. But I've got it up on the community board of all town board meetings and of park board meetings.
First Tuesday.
all right, moving on to the old business. I'm gonna jump out of order. Anything we haven't discussed yet, Keegan, about the project?
No, Mike kind of give an update on the collection system stuff. Things are moving along at the plant. They're kind of finishing up the UV structure now. The building structures are done. So there's some electrical work and, yeah, from here on, they'll move on to the, some of the influence structures, starting on those, over the course of the next month. Yeah, things are moving well.
See any more savings in the future, that's different.
Well, not so much in savings, there was a big change order that was, that just got pushed through. It was, it's $131,000. Most of it was due to the electrical service costs for the lift stations from IMPA, REMC.
Wasn't that figured in when you guys?
There was an allowance, but the numbers that the utilities gave us were a lot higher than what we had anticipated. We had $10,000 allotted for each lift station. I think the big lift stations, Main and School, were like $30,000 to $40,000 a piece.
So are we gonna have to raise people's rates again?
No, it's, there is contingency, that's why we have construction contingency. So, yeah, with that, there is, $349,000 remaining in contingency, even with that change order. So, and you're working on a credit, about $26,000 credit, on the Division D so far, so a little bit savings on Division B, but Division A's has some things pop up.
Since the mobile community has been passing on the full rate, I'm sure HWC is gonna eat over that.
No, that's not what the people that call say.
Alright, let's go up to the, electric water meters.
Alright, so in your folder, you should have, the project cost sheet from IMPA, which is colored. This has pricing for our AMI automatic red meters. So we've agreed to get into this. There's also a service agreement, Second Amendment, Exhibit A and C. Lee, have you had an opportunity to go over these two?
Oh, yeah, somebody do.
Is that what you were showing? I don't even, Mitch, I'm not even aware that I got it. I may have missed an email.
I had emailed it to you.
When was that? For how long? I mean, about?
Within the last couple of weeks, was when I got it. So, the big thing we had was verifying the pricing on the meters and quantities. So that has been updated on the project cost sheet. So 540 on the electric meters, 565 on the water meters pricing. So
A total $363,568 is what this is totally cost,
yes.
which is crazy. You have, like, with that much money, we should have 3 bids. Do we have 3 bids?
No. Because our electric company won't finance somebody else's electric
I
meters.
thought we wouldn't finance it, I thought we were paying it.
We were going to finance the electric side and pay for the water. They will provide the water meters to us.
So this $363,500 and $586, that is that's the bill, but we're not, because I have right here edit money, that we were taking it out of edit money. Which really knocks down our edit money. Like more than half knocks down our edit money. So I don't understand if we take it from that, how are we making a payment on it?
What was your total number?
All these added up,
Well, the yellow is 7 years worth of the software. So
I know, what happens after that 7 years?
they just break it down in that increment.
But anyhow, we're gonna pay that, right?
Yes, but it's $8,500 a year, which is cheaper than what we pay our meter readers that are inconsistent. So yes,
There's a lot more
we
money
are,
there's
we
a lot more
are,
money that we have to pay, so I guess,
right, so we,
you're still not telling me we're taking this from the edit money, but we're,
we can take it off from the edit money. If,
was that what you said?
No, because we were going to finance what he said, we were financing the electric, we were taking all of it out of the edit money for the water
water.
meters. But
Oh my
if you
God,
guys
water
choose
meters,
to pay,
yeah,
just
yeah.
outright pay it all out,
Yeah,
we can do that too.
the water meters is the gray line, the water meters and ERTs is 161,872.50. So the network infrastructure, the electric meters and modules, like
So we
meter
can
change.
get 3 bids if we pay it out ahead of time.
On the water side, yes.
Even the electric. If we're gonna pay it out ahead and we're not borrowing it, then we
Yes.
should be able to get 3 bids from 3.
I did get another bid on the water meters,
It was all voted to go with this
and,
last council meeting.
So,
and the bid we got on just the water meters was more expensive
than every water.
than everything.
I know, but we still
I had 2
have
quotes.
to have 3 bids.
I had 2 quotes just for the water meters from, 2 of the, bidders that we use. And they was both more than what he said, just for the water meters and the, software.
Did we get them? Oh, yeah,
Rick? If you saw a copy of that, bring it, and we'll.
I
Somewhere.
put it in my box.
But I do recall the.
Yeah,
water meters.
I was trying to do somewhere for the software and the meters was roughly somewhere almost 500,000. Or maybe less.
Yeah,
And that's not including getting them installed.
right.
I think,
Yeah, we've got it here in February 10th meeting, made a motion for the water meters to be purchased, from Edit up to $167,464. And Marty made that motion, Mitch seconded, and it's carried by all.
but we still need 3 bids. That's required. That is State Board of Accounts requirement. How can we get by that?
We have 3 bids on
You
the
put
water.
it on that particular, huh?
We have 3 bids on
I
the water.
don't know about that.
She said 2. What do we say?
He has 2. I have 1.
Yes, you. And then Mitch had 1.
We have this big project with this sewer right now. Huge project. Why can't we not, like, kind of focus on one thing at a time, or do you guys just wanna spend all the money before you leave? In the county goes broke. I'm kinda confused with it.
This project is something I've been trying to get done for multiple years, because it's, the meter reading has been inconsistent. We've had constant issues with
They suck.
residents complaining.
They suck. Just say it, Mitch. It's okay. They suck.
So, it's not a matter of us leaving or staying. It's a matter of trying to make
It's a matter of.
the entire
That's
community
just a
better.
lot of money.
We'll table this, produce the 2 bids you have, and we'll match it against this, and
And
we'll
2,
do it all over again.
or they feel electric.
And then whether we decide to proceed on after the 3 bids or whether we want from there. We're just spinning our wheels, talking about it. All right. Going back to the sewer rate ordinance, 2026-2, the rates.
So the ordinance was introduced at the March meeting. You all have it, or I have copies for you?
I don't.
It's unchanged from the last meeting. One of the requirements that we satisfied tonight was to hold a public hearing. Statutorily, we have to hold a public hearing. We have to have sent notice to customers of the sewer utility who do not reside within the annexed territory of the town. I mail letters to every one of those customers. Published notice in the paper, and we've conducted the public hearing this evening. Steve Brock has, he appeared at the last meeting, again here tonight, to present to you his rate analysis and recommendation on what rates need to be in order for you to meet your legal obligation to finance and fund the sewer utility. So the next order of business is for you to adopt this rate ordinance. It is a requirement of the town closing its financing with state revolving fund. If you don't adopt this ordinance and approve the rates by the additional 12.07% as recommended by Steve, the state revolving fund will not. I think you're inclined to do this and understand it already, but if we don't adopt this rate ordinance, the state revolving fund will not close the financing with the town. And I don't think any other lender anywhere in the world will either, because they're not going to extend, either a loan or sell bonds or in any other form provide finance for this project unless we prove to them that we are collecting enough revenue to pay back the debt. And Steve tells us this is the rate we have to set in order to.
Now, let's say this miracle happens and this attorney gets us all this free money. I'm just wondering, would we be able to go back and change this?
Well, yeah, absolutely, you can
Okay,
change it.
I just wanted to
but-
make sure I was saying that right.
Okay, yes, the short answer is yes.
All right. Well, I make a motion to accept ordinance number 2026-02.
We got a motion,
I'll second the motion.
we got a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Carried by all. Ordinance number 2026-02, amending the Schedule C sewer works
Is adopted.
is adopted. Expected to be in place by June, July.
So the way I write this in form of ordinance that I do is that the rate will become effective as soon as is practicable after the ordinance is adopted, because you sometimes don't know on the date that it's adopted where you fall in the billing cycle and whether Keystone or whoever, BSA or whoever it is.
Yeah, we'll have to send the ordinance to them and
You
then they
do,
program our.
and they have to reprogram and all that kind of
Program our
stuff, and
rates.
so I find that if you set, the ordinance to become effective as of a certain billing cycle or as of a certain date, we may not be able to hit that because there are other moving parts that are not within our control. So what it instructs Lori to do is to set in motion those steps, that process, in order to implement it as soon as that can be done.
And usually that's before, in the past, it's been way before that we really are even doing the money. I mean,
Well,
I think they should at least have a 30-day notice or billing time. But that is only fair to our community, to give them at least a 30-day billing cycle
Well, what-
to prepare for that.
Okay. It would put us in good stead with state revolving fund to have this in place before we put that. It isn't, whether it's a requirement or not, it's a requirement to be adopted, but, if it's a matter of them, making a less favorable or more favorable view of Brooklyn, the sooner this is in place, the better. So,
So you're telling me legally we can just do that without any kind of notice?
the notice was a public hearing we had.
I know, but
and the
like,
adoption of
we
the
can raise
ordinance
it
and
tomorrow.
a public, no, because it can't be done.
But it can be done sooner than, within 30 days it's gonna be done.
I don't know.
No, it won't be Thursday.
I've never
Because our
known
bill
it to
comes out
happen
in 2
that
weeks.
fast.
So realistically, June.
July.
Yeah.
What it says, Barb, is that the appropriate officials and representatives of the town are hereby authorized and directed to take all necessary actions to implement, bill, and collect the rates and charges as adopted herein as soon as is practicable. And what I mean by that is Lori now knows it's been adopted, so she needs to start down that path of putting this in place. But in my experience, I don't think it's ever happened within the first billing cycle.
No, it will not happen.
I just
in
don't
2
think it's
weeks.
possible.
It will not happen, no. I have to wait till I get the ordinance signed, and then I can send that, because they won't do anything
But
once I
it'll
get
be
the
on,
ordinance.
it'll be for the last month's bill or this month's bill?
No, it'll probably be July's
Probably the
bill.
July billing, which is from May to June.
From May to June, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but that's July's bill.
But there will be 2 more bills received before then by the customer.
Yes, May and June.
Right.
If it starts in July, yes.
Right, right.
Yeah, because May comes out in 2 weeks.
All right, no more discussion about that, we'll move on to new business, jump around, let's go.
Can I jump in just a second? So, okay, I just want to say thank you for adopting the rate increase. He's absolutely correct that without adopting that, the SRF would not close our loan with us. The process going forward is, I've got to file a final due diligence submission to ESRA. I was waiting until, to see whether you're going to adopt the rate ordinance or not, so I could tell the ESRA if it was adopted. Authorization, I'll go ahead and do that. We have to close our loan by the end of June, we'll close the half on this month, which means I'll submit it for the next week or so, and I'll set up a closing sometime in June for us, for that. Is that what you'd like me to do?
Sure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. If you wanna exit the building, you're more than welcome to.
Thomas has left the building.
I'm sure you can see around.
No encore tonight.
I think I can answer.
Did you run by the trailer park and tell them?
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll knock on every door.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Keith. Yep. All right, moving on to new business, let's, jump down to ordinance 2026-3, amending the disconnect procedures. I know we talked about that a couple months ago. In the past, it's been a 15-day, grace period in the disconnect.
No, I think we're working, Lee and I are working on.
Okay, so we're.
He sent me a,
Tabling it.
so it's taking, yeah, it's not the table it.
What about this fire contract? The fire contract, 2027.
I haven't seen, I saw one member of the fire department. Actually, two members of the fire department, appreciate their help this weekend for, so, others.
This is Kirby, I'm Scott. That time of year being. Cover letter just talking about our need on staffing. The contract is able to it for the third contract, so you amount. Or you need a copy?
Yes, please.
Sir, you need a copy?
I don't, no, thank you. Is that the contract?
It's
Yeah,
in
yeah,
there,
if you
yeah.
don't mind, please, I thought it was just information. Okay, thanks.
The new amount is the 115 that we originally asked for last year, and then we settled for the 105. Kind of give you where we're at here this year. Our biggest dire need and situation is manpower or lack of. To put it bluntly, we're bad on people and responsibility. We don't, the needs of the volunteer department in general is dying quickly. And, we're down to probably, our roster is still 12 to 14, but active and making runs is 6 to 7. But we're not making runs at night, we just don't have people. Some nights, I mean, last night I lived down at 6739 to North Junction. One of our guys from Mooresville, we responded to a lift assistant in the trailer park at 4 this morning, because we didn't have anybody else. Memberships that live in town, we have one that lives in the trailer park, Bruce. He's also in Madison Township, he makes runs when he can, but he works B shift at Madison, so he's not available. We have one other person in town, that person doesn't make runs. That's all we have, as far as town people. The rest of us, a few of us, Kirby's in the township, his son, we just voted his son on, who's in the EMT class. We've got another young fellow that lives out, what's his street? He lives right over the line out here off Centenary. He's in the EMT class. They're both young and 18, so they're coming up. Where we're hurting. So, we're hurting people wise. During the day, we've got things covered, because we got our 2 people. But when they leave at 4, seems like a lot of runs come in after that. It seems like 5 to 6 o'clock, a run comes in. And well, you were all meeting, he left the run, they went on a run. We're wanting to talking about adding a third person to go from 4 in the evening to midnight. That person would be by themselves, but hopefully there's enough people, there would be 2 or 3 or 4 people at home that can supplement. So, eventually, we've gotta get to a, and I don't know when it'll be, but we've gotta get to a 24/7 department here with 2 people minimum. We've got to. It's not for us, the department, it's for.
We need to merge with
There
somebody.
might be a fire
Yeah.
district or something, it's,
Yeah, I would have to go fire.
that's standard now.
But I'm just, I mean, it's just gonna have to happen, something's gonna have to happen. We're gonna have to go full time.
Which ultimately, a fire district would cost more than what we're paying now, but, in order to get the
We don't
staffing.
pay it.
No, we don't pay it directly, but the taxes on it.
You want to have better coverage.
We've got a budget, our proposed budget, we did a budget for this year with the contract amount we received from you and the contract we received from the township. And with all the expenses and our payroll for our current staffing and all of our other expenses, we're gonna, if we don't break even, we're gonna be 5 in the hole. So, we're just maintaining. We're just maintaining. And, so this, if we bring on this other person here from 8 to 5, or 4 to midnight, we're gonna have to figure out another way, we're gonna have to figure out a way to pay that person too, we're trying to figure out some ways.
Well, if we can have one person on nights, why don't we just have one person on days?
It's a safety issue.
Oh, but it's not on nights when it's dark?
It's a safety issue. It's a safety issue. I'm opposed to one person. We're trying to do the best we can. If we had 2 people, could do 2 people, we do 2 people. We don't want to take off one during the day and put one in the evening. It's a safety issue. The only reason we're considering the one in the evening is we would hope we would have backup for people coming from home.
People
Which we don't have that during the day.
home from their regular jobs.
That are home.
Right, versus people who live in town don't necessarily work in town.
But then we're still talking nighttime, it's not covered.
I don't.
But didn't you just tell us that you guys haven't been making night runs?
We're trying, when somebody's
You said you
available.
haven't been, right?
There's runs we have not made because there's been no availability, nobody can make the runs. Like I said,
So what happens when you don't make a run?
we have Brown Township. Brown
It's the same
Township,
thing that happens when the police. don't-
Brown or Mooresville has to come.
Shuts up.
Yes.
So I'm an RN during the day and I work downtown Indianapolis. So when I'm not in the area, some of these calls do go undone. So right now, when I heard this number earlier today, the person who pulled these runs, we're somewhere in the 80 runs that we've done up so far this year. And I've been on 55 of those. And most of those are either with my son, again, who is not certified. He's just managed a pair of hands. Or somebody like Scott who shows up at the, right, and it's becoming a piecemeal thing. And so you're asking about safety. I've gone into these situations where I've gone in first and I'm waiting for them, or vice versa, where they're like, hey, hold off just a minute, we're not ready for it yet. Cool, I'm good for that. Or county, right, because we're not doing the other side of the highway. So if you want to do a ride along, absolutely, come see what we do. I would love to have you, you got to see us at work.
Is Charlie Heflin still on active?
He is not. He's on leave right now. And so here's this situation, right, where we have members in different statuses. That 12 number is like the roster. He's the president, so he's gonna speak. I'm a member, but I'm also on the board. I got voted on the board as a general member. I'm now a secretary as of Sunday because of other people leaving. So that's our number shrinking very quickly.
We've lost 5 here this year due to various reasons.
Yeah, and so we look at our lockers, and our lockers, we have more empty than full. So if you guys have, and unfortunate, right, if you have a house fire,
your house fires go up quicker now in flames than they do 20, 30 years ago because of structure. And who's gonna first respond? It's gonna be fewer of us, and you're still gonna wait the same amount of time for Brown, Madison, you name the township. But your expectation is the local folks are gonna do it? And then if I heard you right, you're gonna try and start billing us for water usage?
I didn't say that. Well, I meant for the.
Not billing,
For your
calculating,
building,
so we
yeah.
can account for the loss.
For your building that
That's
you're.
not being charged.
Okay.
What was that? I missed that part. What was that? I didn't get.
So we just need an account of how much water you guys have used, that way we can know for our audit.
Are we talking about inside or outside?
So if we fill up our tank, you're not saying you're gonna
Any
charge
water
us?
that you
No.
guys use.
But they are gonna charge you
Not,
for doing your lawn.
I'm not
and stuff
saying
like
for a
that.
fire,
Okay.
but
Okay,
like if you,
because that's a huge thing.
correct, you're not gonna have time to calculate
Because
that.
we're not gonna be able to sit there and go, hey,
No.
put in 10,000 gallons in your
Correct,
house.
that's not, but,
And if I'm worried about my tanker, right, or Greg's tanker, because they're helping, how do we separate those and?
no, it's just the amount, just washing trucks, things like that. We
Yeah.
need to calculate how much water we've used.
Gotcha.
Because they're asking us, IDM, about
About
loss.
that. Okay.
But the maintenance, this building, the police, everybody pays their own utility bill.
Got that, that makes
You
sense.
guys don't pay.
That makes sense, yep. As a business function, I have an MBA, that makes sense. Gotcha. I do this for the VA.
So it's not for emergencies, you're not talking for emergencies?
No, not at all.
Because that's in, like I said earlier, that's in the contract, if I'm not mistaken, that you guys,
Yeah,
you get that.
yeah.
We just need to account for how much,
Yeah.
with IDM and all that.
Yeah, it's basically, they look at how much we've used and how much we've gotten back for what we.
All right.
So our safety is, if Scott and I go out on a call, and it's a fire call, the two of us literally have to do what a large city would do. We're talking run hoses,
We're waiting for our
run tanker,
backup to come, but.
run everything, and we're waiting, like physically waiting for, you name it.
Our mutual aid is, if there's a fire in Brooklyn or fire in Township, automatic dispatch is us in Brown and Morrison. So automatic. And lots of times, by the time we all get to the station and get to the truck and go, the rest of them are about getting there about the same time. And again, the distance issue from where us members live now, and that.
It takes me 8 minutes to get to the station, and that's not going.
Takes me longer. Like I said, we're coming from further, and we've got, a couple guys up on the hill, up there on Beach Grove Road. They're pretty much for up there at that area, unless it's a major incident, then they come in here. But it's just.
Yeah, every fire department right now is having that same issue
Everybody,
about
yeah.
manpower. I read it on
Yeah,
Facebook
it's
about
all-
Madison, my daughter and her husband were
It's going to the
working in Monrovia Fire Department.
Well, and you look at all the surrounding departments, surrounding Mooresville or in the county, and right now, we're partial paid, right? We've got a partial pay program right now in the daytime. But the only other ones that don't have any type of pay program is Paragon and A&A out of Nicholas. But the rest of them are all 24/7. We're the only ones that.
Because they're also, don't they get their own tax dollars?
Yeah, they're all
I know Monrovia does, that.
Yeah, Murphy gets a lot of money again from the warehouses and the district.
Yeah, but,
They get good revenue.
In their district.
but their town board don't do that, they do that, the fire department.
Well, they're a district. They're a
Our
fire
district, yeah.
Doesn't.
Might I say something? Has been on the fire department for 28 years. Sometimes it's fire chief. We went through this thing 15 years ago when they first started territories and districts. At the fire chief's meeting in the county, it was discussed going to a county-wide fire district, where every little municipality like ours would be completely out of it. You would have the county commissioners and a district board the board would analyze each little department, what their expenses are, what their requirements are needed, and then put forth this to the board of commissioners, and they would set the tax rate accordingly to it.
Well, and that is on when you go to vote this year? They're trying to do away with the township
But
part
that had
of
nothing
fire,
to do with it.
and they're wanting to do county?
We were gonna do with it, do away with like Brooklyn would be a district, but it would be District 4, all it is in the county. You know, we had it all growing up, it was beautiful, but we all got voted down.
I don't know who's voted yet.
Nobody
There
wanted to
is
give up a little
the
bit of
option
power.
For like county, they did.
Right now, just to kind of give you an idea, our payroll right now for the system we're running right now is, we also pay a run stipend per run. If somebody makes a run, they get a stipend of $15 if they make a run. But our total right now, we're around 90,000. Yeah, 90 to 95,000 what we're paying right now in pay. And then if we added that third person, then that's gonna add another 33. That's figured $16 an hour, and it's the other thing is we gotta be competitive because these other departments, green, what, you know, wherever you wanna, they're in the $18, $20 range.
And you get $115,000 from us and $115,000 from township?
But remember, there's all kinds of expenses in there too. Not in there, no, on our budget. On our budget, we have other expenses that are payroll.
You gotta factor in the fuel costs right now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we've got, you know, we've got a budget, you know, apparatus fuel.
We all do.
Just reference, last year we made about 650 runs. Today, we're at 146, 82 within town, 53 in township, and then a mutual levy. And again, when I say we don't make a run, it's not that we're willingly not making a run, it's just nobody's there to make that run at night. And then what dispatch does is after 4 minutes, if nobody responds, then they start somebody else. And last night on this, with the assist up here, like I said, one of our standby guys, he lives up off Haley Road, he's trying to help out, so he said, I'll make some EMS runs at night. He's full-time at Mooresville, so when he's not at Mooresville. So, he came from outside of Hadley Road, I came from down there. We went ahead and had Brown continue. I got the scene first. It was not, you know, just a lift assist, so that particular run wasn't an emergency type run, but it takes me 10+ minutes, you know, to get up here, so just letting you know our situation. Everything can get help, but it's just, we're breaking even and we need more staffing. It's just, we need 24/7 to adequately protect the community. We need 24/7. I know that's.
Then you guys should become your own fire department, instead of volunteer fire department, you should.
We are.
Something like,
You gotta go to district or territory. And I don't understand all those ins and outs, but on the territory, I think the entities have to request to be part of that, the township and the town. I don't understand. So it's not us that requests it, it's the entities that request that.
How does the township feel?
Mixed.
we're gonna have a new township.
We have to, you know, we have to marry up with another township, an adjoining township to do it. And that, you know, that's just the whole, that's just, you know, it's.
And Green's not that far away now that,
No.
But when you do that, you may not get a station right in your proximity. You may have longer run time.
Mm-hmm.
Is there keep every single station
No,
open.
not very, yeah.
So you may-
Green, you mentioned Green, Green is now 3 during the day and 2 during the night, so they're 3
But if you were with them, they're not that far away.
Well, we're not really to that point of merging yet, so we've got, look,
But it's an option.
But if you look at the township maps, and look at the road conditions, the size of the trucks, and consider it an emergency, or however we travel on those roads. So if you're taking a 2,000-gallon water truck and trying to get from one side of our township to the other side of the other township, and do it safely at night, in wintertime, and the house is on fire with your loved one inside, how would you position yourself? You want somebody either quicker or slower, right? That's how we look at it, because it's us in this position too. Because I live on a hill, I live on Goat Hollow Road, my house sits on a hill. It's hard for me sometimes to get home from my pickup, right? So when I leave my hill, I have to think about, well, when I get off of my hill, will I be able to get back up my hill? And I have to take that truck and go up and down that hill safely. Because it's my safety and your safety, because I have to drive around you as a person on the road with me. Right?
the other thing about the
Thank you,
territories,
thank you.
the other thing about the territories and districts is the rate increases. And you probably heard what Morgan has been going through. They've tried it, and they have really, it's hit the fan down there.
Right.
And so, it's just not that easy just to say former district or former territory.
Well, thank you for getting it to us early so we can look into it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, thanks, Scott.
Moving on, last thing is, police department computers, all the, computers for the police station.
Yeah, with going with Right Tech, they came in and they did go over to the police department and look at all their computers, and they did come back and say that their computers are so outdated, and that they said that they would need to have new ones. They did give us a quote for brand new ones, and they also gave us a quote for refurbished.
And what kind of warranty does the refurbished have?
I asked and I do not know. I have not gotten the answer back yet.
That would make a big part of our decision.
It says manufacturer warranties apply only as provided by the manufacturer and exclude labor costs for repairs or replacements. Is what it says on both of them, for the new or for the refurbished.
So we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know what they're warranty.
Well, so the first page, we're looking at
7,000.
7,000 for 4 new ones, or
2,800.
2,800, yeah. I would suggest going with the 4 used ones, and you can replace those twice for the cost of the new ones. That just seems to be to make more sense. Is your system still on Windows 10?
Some of them don't even function right, so.
I don't think.
Well, I know Windows 10 was no longer served.
Oh, yes, our computers that we have, because when we purchased them, we purchased those used from IE. And they were very basic, minimum, and it was a struggle for us to get everything that we needed on it.
Right.
Because we did that, a couple of us fell short, because they can't just process all that data that we run through there. So
Right.
we have at least 2 that if I start it right now, I can use it in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And the security patches aren't gonna.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what-
Windows 10 is no longer
Yeah.
being
No.
supported,
Yeah.
so you've got to go to Windows
And then
11.
you have-
If they're that old, they're not gonna support
How
Windows
old
11.
is their refurbished ones, does it say?
The ones I have are 10 years old.
The refurbished
So
ones.
we're gonna run into the same problem.
No, I just don't know what they have in the
No.
office now.
I mean, ones that.
They are, it says, they're the 15 through 12th generation. So Dell Business, but I don't know what, I'm not a computer person, I don't know.
I'd say
But-
they're probably a year or two old.
If it wasn't something that wouldn't work, the IT department wouldn't have sent us the,
Right. I know, when I was in New Island, we had bought new or refurbished computers from them, from the same guy, and not had a problem.
So we get another set of quotes for some new ones, and if we can't beat this quote with another quote, look at those refurbished ones, hopefully we make them last.
well, I looked on Amazon for the same things, and it's more on Amazon for here than that. Not for
Yeah,
mine.
I looked it up, that 12th gen i5 core came out November 4th, 2021, so at oldest, it
5
was
years.
2022, so 4 years. Even at that, they're refurbished, they've got the new CPUs, or the new, operating system on them. I still think that's the better way to go.
What do you think, Brad?
I'm okay with refurbs.
This is their desktop computers, this is not the one.
Yeah, it's a little
I don't know that I would buy a refurbed one for the car because they're gonna get abused, but, yeah, I make a motion, we just accept the 2,800 for the 4 refurb computers.
We got a motion, in a second, all in favor? Carried by all. Back to paying bills. Anybody have a chance to look at
Yeah, I have some questions about the, trailer park bills. Cause the one, same address was, worked on twice.
The 62 Chisholm Trail,
It's thought I marked that when I was looking.
page 7.
So, yes, we have a repair to system on 32 Chisholm Trail. And if I'm not mistaken, that was one that was on that list. The list of repairs that needed to be done.
Yeah.
Then we got 84 Chisholm Trail. So this 560, yeah, same price, well, two different addresses, one's Chisholm and one's Santa Rosa.
But we've got 262 Chisholm Trails.
Okay. Yes. 200 and 200.
There
On
was
the same day.
Mark, there was a 45 chicken trail that was on the list. That was being repaired.
But was it 32 one?
No, on this one. And then that one. In the list that you sent me, there's 78 Chisholm Trail. And that was the two that I had for Chisholm. I'm looking at that list that you sent me.
Yeah, but what about that other one that they did? When they drove around and looked? So does it say what the repairs are for, cause it's just.
It does on the actual bill, but I can't put all that on our place.
Yeah.
Come in and look at the bill. Okay.
And like I said, he's done a detailed, took pictures and everything, and he's supposed to give me a list. I just talked to him the other day. He said he's gonna get that one. I was hoping he had it, so I could tell you. I was looking at my emails, but, wasn't there.
It's got 6 trailers that must be at least 200 or better on.
Yeah, there was one on here that I sent him to do, to work on. I've kept all the text messages between me and him, and then, as well as with me and the trailer park too, so, I'm more scratching the back.
I make a motion to pay the bills.
Got a motion, we have a second. Motion and a second, all in favor? Aye. Is that all? Pay the bill. Motion. Or actually, public comment? Does anybody else have anything else to say? Signed up on the list.
I'm on the list.
What do you have to say?
A couple things. One, I was gonna ask about the houses, but she hasn't done anything with those yet. My second thing is the fire department. Okay, I get they wanna hire people, but I remember when the fire department was 100% volunteers. We've been telling the police department since we took 2 of their people away that they would give 1 back. So I don't see how we can pay for a third paid firefighter when we're still only paying for 2 police officers. I mean, just like he said, he said, well, we're not covered. Well, when we're not covered by the police, county covers it. When we're not covered by them, Brown Township, somebody comes out here.
We're gonna have the ambulance service right down the road.
Yeah, it's not any different to me. I mean, they've come up with money to pay for 2 people in the time that we haven't gotten any of our police back. I don't see how they can add a 3rd one before we get back to
You
that.
said we have to do another police officer back, because that's my plan. We don't have the money.
Oh, I'm just saying, we don't have the money to give them money to hire
Because of
somebody.
them, we don't have the money because of them, because we had to give it to fire.
That's just my opinion though.
I understand.
Francis Mead, Donna,
Bring left.
Shelley Cooley.
It's not water or sewer related.
Uh-oh.
I live on the corner of Main and East Street. It's a dry strip. And it's getting worse because they cannot go out on 67 and turn south on 67.
Yep.
So as soon as they go through the first freeway stop, they don't have another stop for how long? It's getting bad. We need a 4-way stop there.
Multiple tickets in the road, on that road, so that.
Yeah.
Here's what we have to do that.
I'd love a speed bump in front of my house.
Hell yeah.
To be fair, I've been on your road for the last week, and the cars that they believe are speeding are legitimately not speeding.
Oh, I'm not talking about that.
So,
I,
no, I'm just saying that there is a big concern about speeding, and the one person who complains about the most is one of the biggest violators. So, again, I'm not saying that they don't speed, because they do speed.
no, I'm talking about the motorcycles that rip down through. If there's a couple people that ride motorcycles, and you can hear them. As soon as they leave the stop sign, they're, and
They
they're,
come from the south because they come down.
yeah.
And Marshall Shaw, have we had the, speed sign down there recently, or?
Yeah, we just moved it.
Yeah,
It was moved off of Main Street.
I'm talking about, east.
Right, it was moved off Main Street, I put it in front of the school for a couple of weeks, and the next place it goes is South Main Street, yes.
Does that record, any type of recording, just flash it?
Traffic patterns, that's it.
Used to, they would just come up to the intersection, turn on East Street, go out on 167.
Yeah.
Now you can't
Now
go
you
south
can't
that
do
way,
it.
so they're going on down.
Yeah, I've noticed an increase in traffic on east, or on, Main South, going to Tidewater, because of, now you can't.
And that road's kind of torn up too.
Yeah, it's one lane in that one area.
I say we hire another cop.
But a stop sign would be great. And I think it could help on your end too.
There's not really any, well, I mean,
Well, they
you could
have
put
two
one
stops.
at Hughes Street.
Well, no, they would have two stops, mine and then the next one up. And then every still.
They got that straightaway right there.
Yeah.
That would be up to the board for consideration about making that intersection.
Let's get the, signboard out there in the next, I don't know, week or so.
Monday.
Alright,
I'm gonna
and
move it Monday.
do some observation, and we'll bring it back up, during the May's meeting.
If you can get it done, I can shoot.
I know that, like, the state went to that, where they have the, in construction zones, they've got photo tickets.
Right.
I mean, I know in other states, you can get photo tickets off of signs. I've gotten one in Tennessee, I think, or Mississippi somewhere. I mean, can we do that?
Brad, can that be retrofitted with,
No,
a camera?
that cannot, no.
I make a motion.
The court won't accept, our court won't accept
We'll
it.
get a couple more.
That's what I was asking.
Yeah, we tried to use, a photo from, the county slot camera
Yeah.
on time, and they were wishy-washy about it, so they're definitely not gonna take it for a traffic speed.
Yeah.
The town would have to create their own ordinance bureau with a quote-unquote judge to hear the cases
And so we'll move the sign out there next week or two. We'll bring it up to discussion, May's meeting. All right, it looks like everybody's had a chance to speak.
I make a motion to do.
We got a motion to adjourn the meeting.
For the time.
Second. We got a second. All in favor? Aye. Very well. Meeting adjourned.
You need to write.